Ever thought about how a huge company, like Google, buys thousands of laptops all at once? It's definitely not as simple as just a few clicks on Amazon. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how companies do their online shopping. Okay, so let's kick things off with something we all know and do, online shopping. Just think about the last thing you bought online. Was it a book, a new pair of shoes, maybe? Now imagine you're not just buying that one thing for yourself, but for your entire company. And that's really the core difference, isn't it? It's like buying a single cupcake for yourself versus ordering a giant multi-tiered wedding cake. The basic idea is the same. You're getting something you need, but the scale, the stakes, and the complexity, they're on a whole new level. Now, in the business world, this whole process has a pretty fancy name, digital procurement. Sounds complicated, right? But honestly, it's just a formal way of saying company buying. The reason it gets a special name is because it's so important for a company's budget. But for today, we're just going to call it company buying. So, how does this whole company buying process even start? Well, it all kicks off with a really basic question. What do we need and why do we need it? This is step one, finding the need. It's really a two-part thing. First, a team realizes they need something to do their jobs better. Maybe the marketing team needs new cameras. Then, they have to go to their manager to get the green light. If the manager says okay, then they can move forward. And here's a really key idea. Companies don't just buy things for fun. Every single purchase starts with a specific business need. It could be to solve a problem or just to make work more efficient. No need, no purchase. It's as simple as that. So the company knows what it needs and they've got approval to buy it. Great. Now, where do they get it? That brings us to step two, choosing the seller. And this is where it gets pretty interesting. Just think about how you shop on a site like Amazon or Flipkart. You search for something, you compare a bunch of different sellers, you read some reviews, and then you make a choice. Well, companies do the exact same thing, just on a much bigger scale. But what makes a seller good for a company? Is it always just about finding the absolute lowest price? Or are there other things to think about? Let's take a look. Okay, so check this out. We've got two sellers. Seller A costs a little more, but they can deliver in just 2 days. Seller B is cheaper, but you're going to have to wait 5 days. If you're the one in charge, which one do you pick? And here's a little secret that smart companies know. The best seller is not always the cheapest one. See, in business, time is money. If waiting those extra 3 days means a whole team can't do their work, then paying a little extra for faster delivery is totally worth it. All right, we are almost there. The company figured out what it needs, they found the perfect seller, and now it's finally time to make it happen. This is the last stage. Step 3, order and pay. This is the final stretch. The company places the order online. Then they get the delivery. After that, they do a really careful check to make sure every single item is what they asked for and that nothing's broken. Only after everything checks out do they pay the seller. Here's a golden rule that works for your own shopping and for company buying. Always check what you receive. You want to make sure you got what you paid for, especially when we're talking about hundreds of items. So now you know the basics of company buying, and you might be thinking, okay, that's interesting, but why does it matter to me? Well, it turns out understanding this process is a really valuable skill that can give you a big advantage in your career. Here's the bottom line. Doing company buying the right way is like a superpower. It saves a company so much time and money, and that makes anyone who understands how to do it a really valuable person to have on the team. So, how does this help you? Well, for one, knowing about this stuff looks fantastic on your CV. It's also incredibly useful for all kinds of business jobs. Plus, it shows that you're someone who really understands how a successful company operates. So as you move forward, I want you to think about this. What will you help a company buy someday? What big problems will you help them solve by finding just the right things they need? The future of company buying is in your hands. Pretty exciting stuff to think about.